Okay, so we got 9 more. So we got Princess Cordelia next.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Lady Frammy, a pleasure to meet you at last. My uncle speaks highly of you and your mother. Her carefully neutral tone of voice, its soft volume, the way she curtsies exactly the right way, nothing about Princess Cordelia makes her recognizably from Heiss. It might be harder to talk to her than you thought. How do you greet her in return? Friendly, politely, routinely, rudely?
She's our kinswoman. Well, our country.
Batch walks away.
Flips her off and just walks backwards.
Walks
Should
away.
We try friendly on this one?
Yeah,
I
we can
think
do
she's
that.
just putting on airs.
Sure. You smile at her in a friendly way. Princess Cordelia, I am very happy to meet you. I hope we can become friends. Although it's clear she would have preferred a more formal greeting, she still warms up to you enough to give you a tentative smile that you think might actually be the genuine article and not a polite mask. The princess speaks some proper pleasantries, with less substance and opinion than water has flavor. After a polite interval, there is a pause in the conversation. You gather it's your turn to introduce a topic. What do you want to talk about? Gossip? The party? Her weird Heiss relatives?
I mean, that would be insulting, the last one, surely.
A little bit.
I don't know if she strikes me as someone who would want to talk about gossip.
I don't think so.
Like the friendly thing, I was hoping that maybe this whole thing about her being really polite was just a pretense, to blend into the party.
No,
But-
that's just who she is.
Let's talk about the party then.
You spend a perfectly pleasant interlude discussing the feast, from the decorations to the smells to the guests. You didn't learn anything interesting, either from or about the princess, but at least you are fairly certain you didn't offend her either. There is a brief pause in the conversation, which the princess takes as her cue to ask you a polite question. How was your journey to the Isle, Lady Frammy? Uneventful, I hope. Much more than yours, I'm sure. Didn't you sail here on a pirate ship? I mean, so did we, technically. It was... Shh, we did not. It was very pleasant. Thank you for asking, and yours? We're secret pirates. Who would hope for an uneventful journey? Aren't eventful ones the best kind? Honestly, I spent most of the voyage terribly sick, and there was this incident with a drunk sailor, and a bad knot, and there was the storm.
I mean, being a secret pirate is definitely what we are. Like, you don't know we're a pirate when we board the ship, and then we talk you out of your ship and all your belongings. And you just sort of leave because we're so charming.
Yeah.
Oh god, I'm not sure on this.
With her, I'd probably say the second one, honestly.
Yeah, pleasant. Just, yeah, let's be polite.
Yeah.
It was very pleasant, thanks.
Princess Cordelia smiles at you. I am relieved to hear it. My journey was also perfectly pleasant. Thank you for asking. You chat politely together for a small while before Princess Cordelia smiles politely at you and excuses herself. Good manners dictate that she not spend more than a few minutes in conversation with you, and if you have learned anything by talking to the princess, it's that she has excellent manners. Who would you like to approach? 8 more.
Oh god, she's definitely not from Heiss. No one is that polite. She's just like grey. She's got nothing to her.
Yeah. No.
Zarad.
Let's do it. Zarad.
Ah, yes, I remember you, Mr. Open Chest Abs Man.
Look at that body. Girl, look at that body.
He's got such long hair as well.
Yeah, he really
I've
does.
got long hair just past my shoulders, and it's a nightmare. I couldn't imagine having long hair like that.
His is like to behind his knees. No, I'm not even
He
joking.
could wear nothing and just cover himself with his hair like Aphrodite.
Heck yeah. You can feel Prince Zarad's dark eyes on you, filled with contained energy. By the time that you have reached his side, you aren't quite sure anymore that it was your idea to talk to him. You are half convinced he somehow just willed you there by looking at you. Prince Zarad takes your hand into his and bows over it deeply, looking up at you through lidded eyes with a carefully restrained smolder.
Lady Frammy, I was hoping you would come and talk to me. I'm positively delighted to meet such a gorgeous and interesting young woman. I hope we will find many opportunities to spend time together,
He winks at you.
preferably without an audience.
Your hand finally released, you curtsy. A pleasure to meet you, Your Highness. The prince smiles at you winningly.
I am perfectly convinced, Lady Fremy, that there is positively nothing interesting that we will be able to learn about each other if we just sit here talking. Not in public, in any case. Polite conversation would be a perfectly wasteful way to spend our limited time together this evening, and I do my very best not to waste the time with lovely ladies that could be spent in much more interesting ways. I am not a piece of meat, Zarad.
I'm a pirate. I'm a rock. I am glitter. Da da da!
That's definitely going on the tombstone.
Thank you. In complete defiance of all social convention and the well-behaved, polite chatter of your fellow delegates, the prince sweeps into another showy bow, holding out his hand to you.
Shall we dance, my lady?
Please no. Except charmingly demure, explain why it's a bad idea, refuse politely, and refuse with horror.
Just vomit on him.
We could charmingly demure.
Yeah, I think we gotta do that. Play to our strengths.
You smile brightly. That's a very tempting offer, Your Highness, but I would prefer my first impression at the summit to be for the quality of my conversation, not for the quality of my dancing. We can't all be either flawless or brave enough to not care if we aren't.
You are being too modest, Lady Fremy. You have already made your first impression, and it wasn't with your conversation or your dancing. In any case, someone like you will appear to your best while in movement.
Yeah, because then people can't properly see our Slender Woman face. And our offset drawn-on eyes.
Oh god, I forgot about this. And her, what did she have, like brass skin, green hair, or brass-colored hair?
No,
We had
it was
something like
it was rust hair.
that was it.
I think we talked about giving her teal skin, but we didn't in the end.
Yes, we
We
gave her
went with-
dark skin because she'd been on a ship the whole time.
Yeah. He smiles dangerously at you, and before you know it, he's pulled you into a waltz, even despite your protests. As you feared, the ridiculousness of waltzing in the middle of a room is drawing curious and, in some cases, judgmental stares your way. You try to pull away, definitely displeased that the prince ignored your wishes and forced you into this dance, but he simply pulls you closer, smiling intently at you. What a jerk.
No means no!
This one does not get it. Since you are now uncomfortably close, you can hear the breath against your ear as he whispers outrageous compliments and flirts with you shamelessly, all the while leading the waltz so masterfully that even if you weren't a good dancer, he would make the pair of you look graceful. How do you respond? Flirt back. In the same flirtatious tone, return his compliments with friendly insults. Pull away. Stomp on his toes several times while dancing on purpose.
The second one. We're going to veil our insults at him.
Yeah. I like it. You smile charmingly at him, and in a light, almost seductive tone, proceed to match outrageous compliment with outrageous insults. He compliments the color of your eyes. You compliment his ability to lie with a straight face. He compliments your dancing. You mention you wish you had worn iron shoes. Not in the least offended, Prince Zarad grins at you, clearly surprised and pleased by this turn of events, and you handily proved that you were no pushover, earning some respect. The music stops, having reached the end of the current song, and so the prince ends your dance with a great flourish, bowing over your hand and giving it a light kiss.
Thank you for the wonderful dance, Lady Fremy. I very much look forward to getting to know you better in the coming weeks.
I bet. How do you respond? Giggle and blush, raise one eyebrow and wipe your hand on your dress, smile and agree politely, wink and sashay away.
Oh,
Sashay away.
We've got to
So-
on a RuPaul and do sashay away.
That's it, we're RuPauling this.
Away!
Away! Detaching your hand, you give a quick wink as your goodbye, and then walk away, head held high and attitude in every step. The prince certainly lived up to his reputation as a flirt, but you get the feeling there is more to him than how he behaves. It might be intriguing if it wasn't so dangerous.
He must be a robot.
That's it. In any case, it's time to talk to someone new. 7 more.